I was tattooing, surprise, and we had a ton of people at that shop coming in looking for apprenticeships, which happens probably all the time to every shop ever. She happened to come in and my coworker looked at her portfolio and it was really cool and surreal and spooky, and I liked it. That never really happens very often, so work very hard at your art.
I mean, at first you didn't want to even look up. You didn't even want to take an apprentice.
Because you get busy doing stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I don't blame you. You're like working on somebody. But yeah, I walked in, put my portfolio down, and I'm like, I'm here for apprenticeship. And she's like, no, we don't need any. And I just kind of stood there until she looked. I interrupted her. She's like, fine, I'll look at it. And she's like, whoa, this is cool. So I got lucky by not leaving right away. I didn't give up right away. I've tried several times to get an apprenticeship, but either I'm too freaked out about it because I walk into a shop, they're clearly hazing me right off the bat, and so I'm like, nah. I'm here for. I want to do art. I don't want this to be more difficult than it has to. I want to get on this. I want to do it.
I can't haze.
And she's been. I don't know. And I was also looking for a woman because I don't want to have to deal with any awkwardness. You know, I never apprenticed before her, so I was just like, I asked a few times, but I can tell right away. I can tell if it's weird, so I'm like, eh.
I started an apprenticeship a long time ago in 2013, and I feel like I learned more through myself and my own methods and watching other artists that I actually admired versus a bona fide apprenticeship experience. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of people. Everyone has a different way of going about it, obviously, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Like, I have my own way. I don't personally get or really care about the hazing procedure. I am not going to waste my time making someone feel like shit because I want to focus on my art and other things too, and I'm busy as fuck. So, different things. I'm trying really hard not to say different strokes for different folks.
Just say it, Maria.
But I want to say it anyway because it's fun, and that's a fun way to define this whole thing. So, yeah. It's kind of like a mentorship with most things, where if it's a craft, like, you have to learn the application, you have to learn the technical side, obviously. You need to learn proper sanitation procedures, which are super important, and a lot of people don't seem to give it enough thought when they're actually in the mode of tattooing, you know what I mean? It's a whole thing. It's another job on top of the job of what you're already doing, which is working with your clientele and stuff. So it takes a lot of effort and commitment on the mentor's part to actually do something about it and teach someone what they know. And I'm not gonna say I know everything about, everything or anything, but I like to think that I'm comfortable with my process and I can share that with her. And she reminded me of myself when I was trying to get an apprenticeship for like 3 years. So it clicked, and it's working.
She's great. I mean, it's scary because she lets me have a lot of freedom and like figure out what I don't know. She's not like, you have to do it this way. She's like, yeah, watch other artists if you want to. If you're around other artists, like, pick up whatever like, try everything basically and kind of refine your but she also like shows me her way, and it really helps. Like, if she realizes I can't figure it out, she's like on it about it. It's been good. Any fine art knowledge I can get has been the best advice for tattoo, which is funny because it's not even about like the tattoo procedure. It's just about knowing art fundamentals and things like that, which she's helping me with a lot, and life. But the best advice she's given me is probably not to be afraid of like hurting people, and just not to be afraid to go in there and like scoop a line out.
Scoop it.
Carve
that. It's tough, really, right? Like, when you start out, I remember it didn't actually occur to my ass that I was gonna be hurting people when I started out with my apprenticeship. And it gave me like a mental block for a minute, because I was like, I'm actually gonna be like people were wincing or whatever. And of course, it's an apprenticeship tattoo, and I used like a shitty coil when I first started. So I'm sure I was like doing some damage. I know I did some damage to myself. So yeah, it like with my head a little bit, like, oh man, I'm hurting someone. She didn't touch it until she tried to do it the right way. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the right way would be for different people. Like, who cares? It's an art form, Yeah,
I didn't tattoo myself or anybody else before I
think she tattooed a melon.
A melon, right? Yeah. I really like cool tried melon. Doing a little sculpt.
She got its consent.
Yeah, but I had all my stuff when I came in. I had like my iPad. I I learned Procreate.
Yeah, man.
I bought a machine. You know, I bought like the best sheet machine I can find. She's like, oh, you've been a few days, you've been here for a few days, why don't you just give me a sleeve? Look what I did. Looks like
her and
crap.
a bunch of other people, honestly. Like, I don't give a shit about my shell, so to speak, so much, and I like to think that I can commit my body to science one day, and in a way, I'm committing it to science right now. This is research. Right? This is research. So she's researching
cool.
shit.
I'm researching,
and, making permanent marks on me.
You want to see my first and worst?
She's
first and worst.
She's done quite a bit.
That's really bad. And the tattoo I'm doing now on her, I'm very, I'm nervous about because,
you're doing a good job.
It's been a while. This year, 2020 is weird, as everybody knows. And like, I took like a hiatus at my house. We're from LA, so everything's closed. Like, shops are closed. I'm not gonna break the rules. I'm not gonna, go and tattoo people, and so I haven't been doing that. So like, the tattoo I'm doing on Maria now is rough because I'm using like one of the smallest needles out there to like, and it's just, I haven't had any practice lately, so my lines are shaky, but I know that I can fix it, and I can't wait to see the beginning to like the end result that I know is gonna be good. So
I like it.
Taste it. Every time I pull a line, I'm like, oh, but the muscle memory kicks in. It's been cut down a lot, my apprenticeship, because of, different circumstances,
COVID.
And 2020 has been really hard. But I think maybe another year for me, that's what I would think. What would you think?
I feel like it'd be sooner, honestly. I want to say like 6 months-ish for sweet.
Hell
yeah. I feel like she's getting on the right track. There are some things to tighten up, obviously, but I feel really comfortable with her setup. I feel comfortable with how clean she is. It's just kind of like technical with line work and more practice with shading, different things. Like, mostly I want to make sure she's comfortable with her style and achieving that look on skin, because skin is like nothing else. Everyone's different. There's basic rules for everyone's organs and bodies and all of that, but like there's no same way, one size fits all thing for anything. It's all like case by case. It's something that you kind of learn about them when you're working on them, and you need the ability to adjust for that while you're on skin. Otherwise, you're just gonna chew someone up. Don't chew. Chew with your mouth closed.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
Don't be rude.
Be cool. Be nice.
Be nice. Be nice.
The people of New York are so nice.
They're cool.
They're so nice.
They're cool. No, actually, they're nicer than LA, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I have nothing to say.